I'm going to try my best to explain this, but recently I watched this sermon and it opened my eyes to a whole new perspective, because sometimes I feel like I'm still a child. Like, I'm still a little girl. I know I'm an adult, but sometimes it's just like this feeling where I just feel like I'm a child and I'm like stuck there. And I was watching this sermon, I think it was Stephanie Ike. She was saying that there was this lady in church that felt, this lady brought up a scenario where basically what I was just saying, like, she felt like a child still. And she was saying that whenever we go through trauma as a child, there's a part of our soul that is still in bondage. Unless you break those chains, your soul is still like chained up in like a prison. It's still in bondage. And it just made me realize, like, dang, like, I wonder how many people are really walking around with parts of their souls just chained because of so much trauma. And it's like, that's why we really can't live out our will and our true self, is because we're not whole. We're not complete. A part of our soul is stuck in that trauma, that scenario that happened to us, that person that hurt us. Our soul is still stuck on that and chained down to that hurt and to that pain. And it reminds me, like, whenever we're in church, they like break every chain. We have to break every chain, literally. Everything that has happened to us that has caused some type of trauma, to some type of pain that has made us broken, we have to break those chains. We have to become whole again, so that we're not stuck as a child, as a little girl, as a little boy, in that moment that hurt us, that caused us to be broken. It's like, I hope I explained that right, but it's just crazy, because I was like, I wonder why I always feel like I'm just like a little girl. I know I'm not a little girl, but sometimes I just feel like I'm younger than what I really am. And it's like, it makes a lot of sense. It's a part of myself that experienced trauma whenever I was a child, is still broken. It's still wounded. I haven't became completely whole again. And the only person that can truly make us whole is Christ. Once we give our life to Christ and start closing those doors and breaking all those chains, that's when we become whole. That's when all the loose ends that's when all the chains are truly broken. So it would make sense why a lot of people are stuck. They're not progressing. They're living in cycles. They keep experiencing the same scenarios over and over and over and over and over, because a part of their soul is still stuck in that moment or those moments. But yeah, I figured I would share that, because I'm like, I wonder how many people truly relate to that. Like, they still feel stuck in a moment that has already passed, but since we haven't completely broken that chain or healed from it, we keep experiencing the same thing over and over and over.